Well, you'll be relieved to know there are no notes up here, and there's nothing on my palm either. Thank you. My name is Surya Yalamanchili, and I don't have remarks prepared today because I want to have a discussion with you. That's why I was looking forward to this. The Tea Party movement's been something that's been really interesting to me as I've seen it take form across the country, because it's so many citizens who are very concerned about what's happening in our nation. So again, my name is Surya Yalamanchili. I know it's a lot to pronounce, it can be hard to pronounce, but I'm lucky. I've got Cincinnati's favorite food in my name, so everybody, when you ask me those questions later, feel free to just call me Chili. I want to introduce myself. I know many people in here don't know anything about me, and so let me tell you a little bit about who I am and why I'm running. My parents immigrated to this country about 40 years ago from India. I was born in Pennsylvania. Both my parents, very blue collar. My mom, for example, she woke up in the middle of the night, 1 a.m., to go to work, pitching mail at the post office at 2 a.m. She did that 6 nights a week. She split up her sleep schedule so that she could be home when my brother and I came home from school, so she could spend that time with us. My dad worked at a factory, delivered papers, did whatever jobs were available. They didn't do it because they were glamorous jobs. They did it because they knew there was a better life waiting for their kids. They did it because they realized there was dignity and honor in hard work. And from my parents, I learned the ethic, the value of hard work. And like many people in this room, I've worked all my life. Starting at around age 10, I'd shovel driveways, I'd rake leaves, I'd sell greeting cards door to door. When I was in high school, I was lucky enough to be attending high school when the internet was first starting. In the mid-90s, I started making websites for local companies, and eventually I had clients all over the country. I'd just cold call them, I'd pick up the phone, and I'd say, would you like a website? Here's an example of my work, here's what I charge. I might have left out the fact that I was 15, but eventually we built up clients in California, in Wisconsin, in Florida, all over the country. When I got to college at Rutgers University, I worked full-time for 2 years to help pay my tuition. The company I was working at, Allegiant Media, I was their director of marketing, and I went to work 5 days a week, full-time, while I took classes at night, would leave in the middle of the day to go do it. And I was happy to do it, because for my parents, a little bit of what they saved was able to turn into their retirement fund. One of the best things that happened to me when I was at school, I went to Rutgers University where I studied finance and psychology. One of the best things that happened to me was I was able to get an internship at Procter & Gamble. I came out to P&G to work in marketing. I went on to spend 5 years here. Bought a house here in 2003. Spent 5 years at P&G as a brand manager. I worked on the Olay brand, which is a skincare, which is why some of you are probably looking up here at me, and if you can see this far, you're saying, gosh, he sure does look young. Is he old enough to run for Congress? Well, I assure you it's the Olay. It does work. After about 5 years at P&G, and if you guys want to ask me any questions about this, feel free. I always get emails if I don't mention it. I was on The Apprentice with Donald Trump, so I got recruited to go be on that show. So if any of you have any questions about his hair or what it was like, feel free to ask him. I was recruited from P&G after 5 years to go work in Silicon Valley at LinkedIn, as well as a few different companies, and it was during this time that I realized that I had been incredibly lucky. A lot of people sacrificed a lot for me. My parents, mentors, other family members. And I realized that I wouldn't have gotten to where I was without them. And so, due to that sacrifice that they did for me, I realized, you know what, when I see 18% unemployment, when I see kids quitting college so that they can go help their parents save their home or help them pay their bills, I couldn't just continue to say, look, I'm glad I got mine. So I quit my job, I'm living off my savings, and I'm running for Congress. And I look forward to discussing with you the work that we have ahead of us. We've got a Congress and a legislature in Washington which is owned by corporate interests. And I think that should be the #1 issue for people in this room. How can we get Washington working for us again? We have a financial services industry that's been the #1 donor to both parties over the last few decades. $3 billion was spent lobbying Washington in just 2008 alone, and the financial services lobby is guilty of this. It's how heads, they won, tails, we all lost. Trillions of dollars was given to them. And 3, over the last few decades, the middle class has just been decimated. And these are the issues that we should be talking about. Where have the jobs gone? Why are we giving tax credits to companies that ship our jobs overseas? How come we can't make anything when you walk into a Best Buy? It used to be you couldn't walk into a Walmart and find clothes that were made in America. We said that's okay. We're all about being high up on the value chain. You walk into a Best Buy, find me a TV, find me a DVD player, find me a cell phone that's manufactured by American labor. And this is an indictment on what's happened in Washington over the past few decades. And we need to take it back. These are the issues that we as a group, which is why I'm so excited to be here and to talk to you. These are the things we need to work on. How come our elections are financed by corporate interests? How come the financial services lobby runs Washington? And what happened to the middle class and how can we rebuild it? I look forward to your questions, and I thank you very sincerely for the opportunity to speak with you. Thank you.